It's Myrna Triolo with Distinct Real Estate, bringing you to Friday's fun fact number 4. So today I wanted to talk to you about, are you contingent? What does that mean? Are you really a buyer if you're contingent? Well, let's break this down. Contingent, your ability to buy depends on selling your current home. Sellers see it riskier than cash or non-contingent. Obviously, depending on your circumstances, depending on how many offers you have, everything all encompassing. So I had a buyer and a seller. They needed to sell their townhome, which right now we know townhome and condos can be a little challenging to sell. We got an offer within the first 4 days, a full price offer. They had found a property that they liked. I had asked them to wait until we had gone through the inspection. So fast forward, they were under contract. They ended up getting a water leak in their home. It was from the neighbor. The HOA refused to pay for it. They did get some compensation from the HOA, but it was a little bit rough for them. And thank goodness we didn't put an offer on a property, which they ended up buying a new build because they probably would have lost their earnest money. So we ended up having to pull the house off the market, do the repairs, and then we had to put it back on the market. I advised them again, let's get the house under contract. We ended up getting the house back under contract. The buyers ended up taking it as is because we had gone through the inspection on the first side. So the point is, you need to make sure that you're prepared. You need to make sure you're working with somebody who's experienced, who can guide you through the process, because they would have either been living in my basement or I would have been putting them up in a hotel because their house would have been under contract. And for a seller, there's not a lot of ways to get out of it. So make sure you have a plan. There's lots of strategies that you can do with your agent. You can make sure the house is under contract first. You can find out how prepared they are to stay on the market. We did explore with this couple that I wanted them to see if they could keep it because they purchased it with a lower rate. In the end, they didn't want to be landlords, but we did talk about them keeping it as a rental. So the next strategy was, do you have to sell the home in order to buy the next home? They could have probably kept it, but they wanted another home with a higher price point. They did end up buying a new build. So you could look at bridge loans. We have buy before you sell. But the point is, you need to have a strategy. You need to work through this with your realtor to make sure that you know what's happening when you're the buyer. And so there's lots of fun negotiations you can do. There's lots of strategies that go into it. But the point is, and the takeaway, make sure you're working with somebody who's experienced. Make sure they're having the conversations with you about what it takes to sell their house and to buy another one. And if you have the ability to wait, how long, make sure you're priced right. And at the end, everybody can be happy. But don't work with somebody who needs the deal. I don't need to sell to be able to move on to the next property. My goal is to make sure that it's what you want and it's the best for you. So hire somebody that's experienced, somebody that's looking out for your needs, and somebody that's working with you as a partner. That's all I have today. Sorry it was a little lengthy. That's what happens when I don't have a script. Anyway, have a great week, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye.